Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, thank you for joining me today. We're going to be taking a look at a couple of rehandles from RoseCraft blades. Now, this is the Elk River Easy Open Jack. We've got here the red jig bone, and there's also another release that is in toasted white bone. And I will provide a photo of that right here. And that's a wonderful option as well. But we're going to focus on this red-handled red jig bone version. Try to get some real nice detail here just to show you how those are jigged. Now, each of these are done by hand by RoseCraft Blades Craftsman. And we're looking at the show side here with the diamond shield. Now, if you may remember from the earlier releases of the Elk River that they had a skull shield. Now they've switched over to this diamond shield. So if you have a knife with one of the skull shields, that might be the last time those are produced. I believe this was the only release with that, along with the Obed Trapper. And I don't think that's going to be used anymore. But the jigging on these are absolutely astonishing. Again, done by hand. You can see the pins there are contoured, and they sit flush with the handle material. Do a fantastic job of smoothing those over. And just all those pins are phenomenal. Just look at the blade centering, very much down the middle. And you can see how well the two sides match up. So the dye does fade into a little bit of a lighter red at the bolster, and then a little bit here at the ends. I think the idea of the vintage jig bone is to kind of provide a pocket worn feel to it. I think that's the idea behind it. And you'll notice that the jigging pattern, jigging pattern will be the same as the vintage jig bone on the green handled knives. So they do have some uniform style jigging patterns now that they've kind of brought out, and I think this is the third color. I believe they have a blue one as well. So very nice jigging on the knife. We've got the nickel silver bolster with the thread and nickel silver pins, and then of course that shield. That's very well laid down, very nice and smooth. And I like that they've chosen the diamond shield as the replacement for the skull shield. I like the skull shield. I had no problem with it, but apparently Andy got some feedback from enough people that maybe they weren't the biggest fan of the shield. There's a back spring. You can see that is very well done. No gaps in the spring. It looks like all one solid piece. Got an integral bolster here, so the liner and the bolster are all one solid piece, and that's milled down to accommodate the width of the handle. And then the 14C 28N blade, we have a lamb's foot. Now again, the earlier easy open jacks are going to have the D2 blade, so these are the first to introduce the 14C 28N. In this particular pattern, we got a stamp there, RoseCraft. Satin finish on the blade, wonderful swedging on it. And if we look at the other side, again, satin finish grind on the swedge there. Good idea of the width of the blade. And let's look at the edge. Looks very even, very well done. The side. They do a great job sharpening these by hand. liners are very smooth on the interior here. They've done a lot of extra work on the hafting, and I'd say the last 3 or 4 releases that they are quite a bit smoother than they used to be. But I do love the fact that it has no nail nick on the blade. I mean, an easy open should be one you can just pull open, right? And there shouldn't be a need for a nail nick on it. I think among all the different releases for RoseCraft's traditional knives, this is probably, at least for me, in the top 5 of all the different ones. The jigging and the color stands out. The pattern itself, the quality of that blade, to me makes for a fantastic overall traditional pocket knife. And the size of it is easy enough to carry. 3.5 inches in the closed position. You've got a blade length 2 3/4 inches. Let me make sure I show you guys the blade edge over here on this side. Yeah, Andy's Maker's Mark RCT 027-RJB. And then the blade steel designation 14C28N. Half stop pull on this. Been pretty consistent with all the others. I'd say about a 6. Very easy to get hold of the blade to open up. Even people with a bit of arthritis or something are probably going to have an easy time with this one. I don't see that being a problem. But a beautiful color, and of course you also have that toasted white bone option. This would be my preference. I'm glad that Andy sent me this particular one to review. Again, we're very well centered, very well crafted. And yeah, I think it's probably in the top 5 of all the different configurations and patterns that they've released. Again, the Elk River last time had the D2, so now we've got this stainless option in 14C28N. But that's going to do it for my overview, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, the Elk River Easy Open Jack RCT 027-RJB. You can get these on Wednesday, September 2nd. They'll be dropping at all the qualified RoseCraft blade dealers, and should be about $65, somewhere in that range. So if you like this, be sure to go and pick it up on the drop. It would be a week from today at noon Eastern time at your approved RoseCraft dealer. They're all about. My particular favorite is Red Hill Cutlery, but you do you. Find the one you like and stick with them. I'm sure they will appreciate your business. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We will see you next time. Take care.